Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast. I'm your host, Son X, and with me today, as always, is our sports analyst and expert, the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same. Always
That's
the
me.
same.
That's
me.
right.
That's right, Grumpy. That is you. That is you.
Yes,
So, before we get into the show, just want to let everybody know that if you like the content, and even if you don't, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment, so that way we can juice the algorithm and get this podcast out to the masses. Isn't that right, Grumpy?
Yeah. Or
we want to get this show out to the masses.
Get the show out to the people.
We typically try and shoot to have this show every Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're running a little late today, about 30 minutes late.
Why is that, X?
I wanted to watch the end of the Broncos game over at Grumpy's.
And was there anything else that you did over at Grumpy that you managed to have people cook chicken for you? And
I cooked the chicken.
Okay, but who had to give you everything you needed to make it happen?
The warden had to assist some.
There you
go. For certain. Shout out to the warden.
Go.
Shout out to the warden.
How many bottles of water did you have when you came over to the Grumpy estate today?
I think we had one or two.
One or two. Sure, that's it.
That's it.
Okay, that's what you say. I don't think that's correct, though.
It's correct, Grumpy.
What other type of? Maybe I should clarify. Did you have any other type of drinks when you're over here?
Had this nice beverage right here.
Oh, look at that! Yeah,
that's right. That's right, Grumpy. Anyway, back on track here. If you guys do enjoy the content we have over here, we do another show called the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. We shoot to have that show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys enjoy the content here, make sure to go check us out over there. And I think that's all that I have for intro, Grumpy. That's it.
All right.
So I don't know if the viewers of the show know this, but me and Grumpy actually went to a college football game this weekend. We went to the Oklahoma-South Carolina game at Williams-Brice Stadium. Had a blast. Atmosphere there is insane. I was telling Grumpy, I said we should try and schedule something possibly to go around the country eventually and go to all the different power schools, like, the top schools, and go to a game at their home stadium. I just think that would be really neat, really cool to do, just to kind of see, I guess, what would you consider it, like their their game intro or game introduction? I don't know how you describe it, but
yeah, like the pregame, whatever.
Yeah,
pregame.
Like I know South Carolina does their thing called Sandstorm, where all the fans, wave their towels and stuff like that. Really, really neat. Really neat.
I mean,
is that live?
I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
You know how good it was, X?
You took your phone out.
I actually took my phone out.
A fossil tried to work his phone. It was great.
And I recorded it.
Yep.
It was that good. It was good.
It was.
And once the game happened, Son X got the tickets. Now.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Now,
here we go.
It's funny because I saw where the tickets were the night before, and I'm like, oh, we're not going to be able to see the game. He wanted to be close to the Oklahoma sideline. When you get too close, you're too close to the field. You can't see anything. So, and I knew that was going to be the case. But I had a great time with Son X. But I watched the whole game on the big screen.
Yeah, we did.
Had one of the end zones.
Watched the majority on there.
Where is the play? And it's like, it's like right in front of us. But you're not watching the field because you can't see anything.
All you're seeing is, we could have seen if we were allowed to do something, but.
No, you couldn't have because you're too close to the field. I remember, you got to remember, the field's like on a crown. So we were almost like at actual field level with those seats, and you can't see anything. It was like the time my dad took me to see the Jets and the Patriots in the Wayback Machine, 1971, I believe it was. And he had season tickets, and I couldn't see anything. You can't ever see anything. And that's before they even had the big screens. You can't see anything.
Yeah, thank God for the Jumbotron. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, because when you're too close to the field, you just can't see anything. So now I did want to say that, I'm really thankful. I'm sure people are going to ask more about it as the show goes on, and we can do a cost breakdown of what it cost me to go to that game with X yesterday. And I want to, standing on concrete for 4.5 hours. It's tough. The older you get, it's like tough. You want to be a little stiff. after that. So it was interesting.
Yeah, I just thought it was a good time. We had never seen Oklahoma play before, and they joined the
still,
SEC.
Honestly, we still haven't, because we would just watch them on the big television.
We saw their backs. We saw their backs.
So. Yeah, we did see.
It was still good. I had a good time. It was fun. We got absolutely crisped out there. The sun was brutal.
They said the temperature was only 79, but I don't know if that was. I don't know if that was Fahrenheit or Celsius.
They missed a couple of zeros at the end.
It was
79,000 degrees out there.
But every time we go to South Carolina, it just seems like South Carolina is like under a kid like with a microscope.
Magnifying glass.
Not a cloud in the sky.
Agreed.
I don't even know where the sun was. Honestly, the sun was so bright I couldn't even tell you where it was. It just seemed like it was on top of us, literally on top.
It was definitely hot, but no, great atmosphere. South Carolina.
I don't know if you can see it.
To watch a game, but
this side of my face and this side of my face.
Oh yeah, you can see on my neck. Look at this.
Yeah, that's all from yesterday.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I think I got some of that too. Yeah,
you definitely got some. Yeah,
we got barbecued. When you're like in the middle of the third quarter, you're like, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, you were feeling in the middle. I was feeling it like, I think it was at the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. I was like, yeah, my neck is hurting bad. I was like, I'm absolutely obliterated by the sun right now. I knew I was sunburned. I was like, I'm sunburned really bad. So, but anyway, had a good time at that.
We did a good time.
Yeah, SEC games are great to go to. Definitely will try to go to more in the future for certain. So
I agree. Yeah, fantastic.
So Grumpy, was there anything that happened in that game that you wanted to talk about? One thing in particular that you were not a fan of in that game?
About that little college girl?
Not even about that.
Oh, not about that.
No, you can talk about that if you want to, as long as you keep it within reason. But that was not even what I was going to talk about.
I was just going to try to tell you the truth.
Okay, you can tell me the truth.
Here's the thing. When you're that close to the field, you have to stand on the seats. You can't see it. You can't see the field otherwise. You can't see it. And everybody's standing on the seats, right? They're all standing there, and they're not like regular seats. They're just like benches.
They're bleachers. They're bleachers.
Yeah.
But they're bleachers.
With like little numbers on them, the little, metal bleachers. So everybody in front of us stand up. So we're standing up too. And I had some Karen who went to school. I guess she goes to school there, and I don't know why she's there. I have no idea. But she was telling people to sit down off the seats. And she mentioned a couple times to other people, they were just kind of ignoring her.
That's correct.
And somebody mentioned, because everyone's standing up front, she started from the back to the front, and she didn't even attempt to go to the front. And you're telling people in the back to sit down. It's like, well, I don't care.
Now the people who are in the back can't see.
Yeah. I mean, so I just, and it's loud. It's loud. It's like 75,000 people there. And she got angry with me, because I'm like, what you need to do is tell the people down front to sit down or to get off the benches, and then I'll get off the bench. I said, otherwise I can't see. And she said, what did she say, X? It was
She said, I'm going to have to call security on you because you're raising your voice at me.
There's 75,000 people there.
How are you supposed to hear me otherwise?
Yeah. She was useless. I mean, all she did all day was just sit on the little. Here's the thing. It was only our little section in the whole stadium.
Correct. Because the thing is, on the left of us and on the right of us, none of those people were told to get off the bleachers. None. One person behind us complained to them that they couldn't see the game because we were standing on the bleachers. So they made our section get off the bleachers. And everybody to the right and left of us stood the entirety of the game.
And it was only because she assaulted me that I even knew this was an issue when she touched my shoulder. My shoulder's hurting now. I think I should sue the state of
University of South Carolina.
Oh, I think I should, honestly.
Sue in Columbia.
Yeah, I think I should. And that girl should absolutely be fired and kicked out of school. That's what I think should happen.
Yeah. The funny thing was she had brought over somebody to come. I was like, okay, first off, I was like, we're not going to get kicked out of this game because they're going to listen to what she had to say and they're going to laugh is what's going to end up happening. So she brought somebody else over and the guy came and told us, hey, you can't be on the bleachers. which I responded. The guy said, "That's fine. Can you tell the people in front of us to sit down so we can see? You know, we didn't pay money to stare at somebody's back, essentially." So he said, "Don't worry, I'm going to tell them next." So he walked down there and told the people to sit down, and they sat down. I told him, I said, "Thank you. That's all that we wanted. That's it." And he said, "No problem." Problem resolved. 2 seconds. 2 seconds he was able to figure out. He
That's
actually
all I said.
went down there and talked with the people and told them to sit down. That's all.
That's all I told to Wokey Karen was, hey, you know what? You need to start from the front and work your way back. You don't start the back and go front because there's no one's. And another thing, I can't tell you how many people just floated into that section who obviously did not have tickets.
Which, you know what? Okay, I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't blame them. I've done it before. You've done it before. You know, I'm never going to complain about somebody doing that. Especially the seats were open that were there. Nobody was sitting in them. So I'm not going to complain. Now, if somebody was in my seat and doing it, I would be like, yeah, you need to move. I paid for this seat. You need to move.
Well, they brought some cops down later to kick some guys out.
They didn't kick anybody out.
They should have.
They didn't kick anybody out. So I watched.
I think these stadiums should have moats around the field with alligators. And as soon as you see that shit, you just flip them over there and let the alligators get themselves a meal.
Maybe they would do that in Florida with the Gators.
Maybe so. Well, they need a new coach.
Maybe they can have a chicken coop at Columbia with roosters. So. There we go. They can peck the people's eyeballs out.
Right. But it was a great time. We had a really fun time.
So. No, we absolutely did have a good time. And if you guys want to ask questions about the trip, please feel free to. We'll answer anything. So
yes.
Anyway, Grumpy. We have some sports news here. I'm going to share my screen real quick. All right, let me take this down real quick. This thing. Yeah. Oh, where is it? There it is. Okay, so we had, and now I know you don't agree with me on this, but it says here that the Broncos flagged for defensive pass interference near the goal line, and Sean Payton picks up a personal foul penalty. This was the game that just ended. This is the one that I was watching over at Grumpy's house. Do you think this is a PI, yes or no?
Hard line out on the field. He's got to be careful not to get a flag.
He just got a flag.
He's impeding the guy from going back to getting the ball. So have I seen that not call the penalty? Yup. Have I seen that call the penalty? Yup. I don't have a problem with it.
I didn't think that it should have been a call.
Okay. Sometimes it gets called. Sometimes it doesn't.
The reasoning behind why I think it shouldn't have been a call, the defensive back turns his head to the ball.
If he stopped the guy from going to try to make a catch. He did. And he turned his head as the ball was already there.
So anytime a ball is thrown short to a receiver,
it's almost always a penalty.
It's not almost always a penalty. It's not. Well, no. Okay. Agree to disagree. I didn't think it was a pass interference penalty. I guess agree to disagree.
That's fine. I mean, like I said, if that's called in the second quarter, nobody remembers it. It's the fact that it was called towards the end of the game that makes a big deal. And it bailed the Giants out. It absolutely did. But the Giants being the loser franchise they are.
Hold on. We have here, so the Giants ended up scoring, and then they went for their field goal.
And hold on. Is it
extra point?
And I said, X was over here squawking like a chicken with its head cut off. And I'm like, can you please shut up? Because this extra point is so important. I said, this guy's got to hit an extra point. He missed one earlier in the day. And what do you know? What happens here?
Let me ask you a question. Me talking, how does that affect your ability to
I want to hear what's going on. The last thing I want.
What do you need to listen to them say? Oh, he's lining up to take a kick.
The last thing I want is some squawky chicken.
You can see
complaining about a pass interference from three plays ago.
It wasn't
the last thing I want to hear. The thing is, you don't let anything go. Just move on.
It was a play ago.
You can't no, it wasn't.
It was a play ago. The next play, they scored a touchdown. You're wrong.
Okay, so this is okay. But here's
the extra point.
Long story short, it was like a minute or so previously. Because you went on and on and on and on, just whining and complaining about it like a little bitch. And he misses it. He misses the extra point. This kid's going to get cut tomorrow. He's gone.
Yes, two extra points in the game.
And how did the Giants lose? How'd they lose?
They lost by a field goal.
They lost by They lost by a field goal right at the end of the game.
And I have that kick here. Give me 1 second to pull that up.
and they lost by a point. Good teams know how to execute. That kid needs to be fired.
What? 39-yard field goal for the win. He got it. Denver's won.
And the Denver Broncos moved to 5-2.
And X was complaining after that. All I heard was how the league is setting things up for the Chiefs to win. I'm like, you realize, and I think the Chiefs are going to. I'm not ordaining them as Super Bowl champions yet. Their defense is really good. It's been really good all year. They got Rashee Rice back. It makes their offense so much better.
Do we already want to get into how the truth has come out? Do we want to do that, or do we want to save that for a little bit?
Well, I'm just saying how I had to listen to you squawk about the officials trying. I said, this is X's premise, that the officials called that pass interference penalty on the Broncos so that the Giants could win, which would help Kansas City because if the Broncos lost. I'm like, dude, you're wrong. You're just wrong.
Okay. Don't worry. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later about how I'm wrong. And there's a study that's been proven that I'm not wrong.
Okay.
So
that I'm just saying to think that they're
don't worry. We'll get to
and
that.
And it didn't
later.
work. And the first thing I said after I said that's it. That's the game. I'm like, you realize that the Broncos have plenty of time to come back and score. And he's like, they're not going to do that. The league will stop them. And they came back and they scored. So your conspiracy theory went right out the window there, right?
Well, thank God that there were 2 catches made. That's all I'm going to say. All right, it says Justin Fields just took a massive hit on the run, and his teammates stood up for him. Tyrod Taylor is in the game now. I don't know if you saw. Did you see the hit Justin Fields took, Grumpy?
I did not. I know he went off.
Safe design, and Justin Fields, he slides and gets hammered, and here comes the flag. Nick Scott had some problems, so there's going to be a reaction to this.
That's a cheap shot hit. Absolutely is.
I take and see, like, okay, me. If I was a head coach and somebody did that to my quarterback, I'm taking your quarterback out too.
I'm going to just tell you.
Tit for tat.
20 years ago, that's not even a penalty.
No.
Tom Brady took shots like that. Here's the thing. If Patty Cake took a shot like that today, they'd probably
need the ICU.
They'd probably disband the league. Say, we got to start over. We're going to have a dispersal draft of all these teams, and we're going to give them to Kansas City. That's probably what would happen next, don't you think?
He'd be in the ICU for certain.
I'm just saying that you're not allowed to take quarterbacks like that anymore.
And then we have another. Well, there were two pretty crazy targeting penalties that occurred. I don't know if you saw this one in the Stanford, Florida State game, Grumpy.
After the timeout, 2nd and 10. Castellanos sensing pressure. Takes off. There's a flag. Castellanos has the first down and a lot more. He'll slide in at the 12.
I have less of a problem with that hit.
Castellanos tried to give himself up, and Mitch Lieber with a rough hit on the Florida State quarterback. And a lot to unpack here with multiple fouls.
So there's a couple things that are going to be unpacked. But if it looks like what we think it looks like,
I don't think that's targeting.
Penalty during the play, looks like a holding, and then a penalty after the play, which would be that late hit after Castellanos slid down.
And Sam, he remains on the
He goes
field
at the head, though.
10.
That's the thing.
Mike Norvell is out.
Okay, but it's low. The guy's sliding down.
Since a late hit.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't a late hit. I said it's not targeting though.
More than one occasion they referenced.
What do you expect these guys to do?
It's a late hit to the head.
Okay,
it's considered targeting. You can't hit anybody in the head.
Okay, especially but the guy was on the ground.
He's a defenseless player too.
Now I would say that the one that Justin Fields had hit was way worse than that. But here's the thing: if you're a quarterback and you want to run like that, you run that risk. You just do.
Okay, it doesn't look like they're going to show it in slow motion. We will play it back in slow-mo.
You figure the guys from Stanford should be a little bit smarter. That's a better school than Florida State.
He went for his head. He absolutely went for his head.
I'm not calling that targeting. I'm just
okay.
not.
A guy sliding down.
He didn't hit him with the helmet. He absolutely did not.
He didn't hit him with the helmet, but he hits him with his hands in the head. You can't aim at a guy's head.
The guy was going down. That was a late hit. It's absolutely a late hit. But again, if you want to run like that, you run that risk. I'm sorry.
And I guess you'd be cool if they high load the quarterback when he's standing there in the pocket.
All I'm saying is,
guy tripped into me.
If you want to run like that, and I don't think they should even call penalties on that, honestly. Stop. They're a runner at this point in time. They're runners. They're not quarterbacks anymore. They're runners. You run the risk. Sorry. If a guy slides, if a running back slides down like that and gets hit like that, you think they're throwing the flag? Nope. It's just because he's a quarterback. And I'm sorry, when you're out there running like that, you get what you get. It's a physical, it's a violent sport. If you don't like it, stay home. Can't run with the big dogs. Stay on the porch.
This is one that Grumpy wanted up here. It says, yeah, I'm not watching sports anymore, man. What is this? How are refs allowed to rig games like this? Funny. People hopping on my bandwagon.
Now,
and a little bit of this. Look at this nice little cut to the outside. Little bit of stiff arm.
He didn't touch him.
That's right. When I watched the play initially, I had no idea what they were talking about. Like he never touched.
Oh my goodness!
And the official sees the player take a dive, and he's reacting. Or
it's the girl official, of
reacting
course.
to seeing the player go on the
as
ground.
Always.
Makes that call.
And here's the thing: the only reason
I'm trying to see what are they calling the penalty flag for?
The stiff arm on the guy, the push,
and a little bit of this.
That?
Nope. Here it comes right here on that ponytail boy. That's your penalty. There's your penalty.
What?
There's your flag. Exactly. For what?
You're not allowed to stiff arm people anymore?
She threw the flag.
You're not allowed to stiff arm people anymore.
Incompetent girl official threw the flag. And you want to
did they take stiff arms out of the game?
She doesn't know the rules, first of all.
Ugh.
Number two, you want to know why she's not getting bitched out? Because if it's a guy official, they're getting bitched out. I guarantee they're on the order saying, don't chew out the girl officials. Here's what I'm saying. Get the fucking girl officials off the field. They're useless, and they do not deserve to be out there. Sorry. Get off. You don't know the rules. Every time you make a decision, you got to have a huddle anyway, and the men have to tell them what to call. I've always had a problem with the women officials in men's sports. They're too fast for them. Cannot keep up. Sorry. Can't keep up. You want to officiate games? Do it in the women's level. I have no problem with that. But refereeing men's games, they cannot keep up with the action. Period. End of sentence. End of story. Cannot do it.
Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with that.
She's trying to explain to the coach, and he wants to take her and give her like a power slam. He wants to scoop her up and drive her into the turf. He does, but he walks away because it's a woman.
I was just I questioned where I didn't even know what the penalty was. I thought it was maybe a block in the back or something. I didn't see anything because I was like, maybe they took stiff arms out of the game. I don't know, but I've seen multiple players stiff arm people before. It used to be a thing. Like everybody would stiff arm everyone.
Yeah. She blew the call. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's incompetent. Usually when they put the women, they let them be spotters. I don't even know why they give them flags to throw out. Honestly, nothing good comes of it.
Says this is unnecessary roughness, 15-yard penalty.
I was in the game this morning.
Called for that one.
Oh my God. Who films it like this? I guarantee I'm going to tell you the film that I took was not in portrait mode. I cannot believe
that's ridiculous.
I cannot believe you got a flag for that.
That's ridiculous.
What should he do? What should the guy do?
Apparently, I guess not make a play on the ball.
I mean, if he catches it, you're just going to let him catch it, or you try to knock the ball out.
I guess you have to just let him catch the ball whenever it's released. You just all right. It's a touchdown or a catch every time.
I mean, and Jacksonville got beat, I don't know, like a zillion to nothing, so it doesn't matter. But still, that's a terrible call. Terrible call.
Agreed.
What's a defensive back supposed to do there? The guy's going up for a catch. He has to. His job is to stop him from catching it. If he catches the ball and he hits him, and knocks it out, it's a good play. I nonsense, just nonsense.
No, I agree. We had some other news, Grumpy. Some more terminations here. Florida is firing coach Billy Napier, sources tell, and he has been canned.
You knew that was coming, didn't you?
Yes, we did know that was coming. And then I also posted something over here where it's top teams that they project him to land. Give me 1 second. I can pull that up. And I just want to know if you agree with any of these or not. Or
is this as a head coach?
This is as a head coach. Top landing spots.
I'm going with number 5, Publix.
Oh my God.
And honestly, it's not as a manager. It's more like a bag boy or whatever they do.
Or the person who makes the subs.
Stock and shelves. No. I you know what?
You have to think Belichick gets fired after this year, right?
Yeah, I think
they've already been talking about trying to buy out his contract. And then I think we talked last week about Penn State's coach getting canned. Getting paid an exorbitant amount of money. Oh.
Well, these guys all have guaranteed contracts, right?
Yeah, they think what the thought process is that Nebraska and Penn State are almost going to do a coaching switch.
Nebraska and Penn State?
Yes.
Nebraska? Who the hell is it? Nebraska coaching Nebraska?
Matt Rule is the coach of Nebraska.
God. What's he ever won?
Did well with Baylor before he went to the Panthers.
What's he ever won?
I think he won a Big 12 championship with Baylor before he went to the Panthers.
Penn State's won those.
Or no, what Penn State hasn't won a Big 10 championship with what's his face? No, they haven't. They haven't won anything with him as head coach.
What's Nebraska's record?
Oh, give me a
second.
second.
What's Nebraska's record? Matt Rule. All I remember is him for the Panthers. He was abysmal. He got, I don't know, he was there 2.5 years. That was 3 years too long.
Nebraska is 5-2 right now.
5-2.
So doing better than Penn State.
Who've they played?
Oh, okay, give me a second. I can tell you. They have played Maryland. They played Michigan State. They played Michigan. They played HCU, Akron, Cincinnati, Boston. That was the bowl game last year. So those are all the teams they played this year.
That's not 7. You didn't give me 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, maybe the Pinstripes Bowl against Boston College. I don't think
that's last year. So
that's what I'm saying. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, which one did I miss? No, I said Cincinnati. Akron.
Akron sucks.
Yeah, Cincinnati, Akron, HCU, Michigan, Michigan State, Maryland, and then Minnesota was the other. Minnesota's the one I missed.
So they've lost to, let's see.
They lost to Minnesota. They lost to Michigan. Those are 2 losses.
The other teams suck. The other teams absolutely
so they'll have Northwestern that they'll play against. That's their next game, October 25th. Then they'll have USC, University of Southern California. That's November 1st. UCLA, November 8th. Penn State, November 22nd, and then Iowa, November 28th.
So they don't play Ohio State.
No, they do not.
And they don't play Oregon.
No,
because those are the 2 best teams in the conference. Okay. I don't think much of Matt Rule as a coach. He doesn't solve any problems. None.
Okay.
Say what you want about James Franklin. He could recruit. I don't think Matt Rule does anything.
James Franklin is what, 0-4 in conference this year?
Yes, this was a bad year. This was bad. And Penn State.
They're 3-4 as a team.
You lose your starting quarterback who's out.
They lost their starting quarterback last week. It's not like they lost him at the beginning of the season. They lost him last week.
That's not what I said. What I said was when you lose your starting quarterback, your season's over.
Okay. Well, they had 2 losses before that, so their season was already over before they lost him.
The loss to Oregon was a big one.
Killed them because then they ended up losing to UCLA.
That's right there. Now UCLA's won a couple of games since then. So, but I think the loss to Oregon really deflated the program. I feel it just deflated the program.
Okay, UCLA beat Michigan State, a team that you said is crap. They beat Maryland barely yesterday by 3 points.
What I'm saying is the facts are James Franklin's teams could not beat the top echelon teams. Was not able to do it when he was there.
Never could.
And also Nebraska doesn't play Indiana also. Those are the top 3 teams in the Big Ten. And they don't play any of those guys. So he's got a Fugazi record as far as I'm concerned. Will they make I think they'll get in a bowl, but they're certainly not going to get in the championship series. They're not that good.
No, they won't get in the championship series. I'm just saying, okay, they're a lot better than Penn State this year. They are. You can't argue that.
Would it shock me if Penn State beat them? Nope.
They don't play Penn State.
I thought you said they play Penn State later in the year.
They do not play. Or no, sorry, they do. November 22nd. November 22nd, they play Penn State.
Would it shock me if Penn State beat them? Not at all.
Okay, we'll see.
I don't think much of Matt Rule as a coach. I think he's a downgrade as a coach from James Franklin. I like James Franklin. I'm biased. Absolutely am. And I remember Matt Rule being at Carolina for the Panthers. He was a disaster, an unmitigated disaster. Maybe he's just a guy who can coach in college. He certainly couldn't coach in pros.
He did well with Baylor. So that's how he got the coaching job for the Panthers. He did really well with Baylor.
For 1 year. Right. Okay.
Okay.
There's nothing special about Matt Rule.
Okay, Billy so we don't foresee him going anywhere. We don't see Billy Napier going anywhere then.
Not this year. He's not getting hired now. You mean
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about for next year.
Oh, I don't know. He'll get a job somewhere else, but I don't think it's going to be a big school.
What school do you think it's going to be?
Some lower level team. It's not very good. I mean, the fact is, his teams can't close out games. Period. They cannot close out games.
You could argue the same thing with Auburn and Hugh Freeze.
Okay.
They can't close out games either. They lose all the time at the end of the game.
Okay.
All the time.
How many people think that Hugh Freeze is going to be out of a job at the end of this year?
He should be out of a job at the end of this year.
When you're in a big time program, if you don't win games, you're gone.
Would you not argue that he should already be fired? They haven't won a conference game yet this year. Auburn. They have not won a singular conference game yet this year.
It could be next week. Again, they're a team that was in a lot of those games, coulda, shoulda, woulda, and they didn't. Just is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, did I not put that? Oh well. Yes, here is something else that another member of the show posted. Said second missed extra point for the Giants in consecutive weeks. That's enough for me. Extra point misses are unacceptable for me. Specifically 2 in 2 weeks. This has to be the last week. Sign Koo to the roster, and that's it. This crap could end up costing the team games, and it did. That's Dan Snyder posting that.
Knew was going to today.
Yep.
Absolutely. As soon as I'm just looking at that kid. He's got to go. He'll be gone tomorrow. They'll bring somebody else in and he'll be gone. I thought they brought the Koo kid in.
They did not know.
Okay. Well, Koo was kicking for somebody last week.
I don't know who.
I don't know. Somebody.
No more than me, I guess.
It's just if you're a Giants fan, okay. The positives for being a Giants fan, Cam Scottaboo's a real deal at running back. Of course, by the time the Giants are really good, he'll be burned out and gone.
He'll be CT.
But you got your quarterback, just like we said. I can't tell you how many people who watch this show were saying, well, gosh, look how bad he looked against Florida. All I know is
he did look bad against Florida.
I don't care. All I care is when I'm looking at how his feet are and the things he does, you can have a bad game. You absolutely can. He can play. Is he going to
run too much for my liking?
I'm not saying, well, that's what all these quarterbacks do. They run. If you want to be successful in the NFL for a long period of time, you must learn how to stay and complete passes from the pocket.
Shocker. Remember when we were talking last year when everybody was hyping up how good Jaden Daniels was, how he's so great, how he's so this or that? Oh, well, guess what? Getting hurt again. Got hurt again today. And that's going to be his career. He's going to be consistently injured all the time. Why? Because he runs all the time. And guess what? He doesn't sit in the pocket. He doesn't throw the ball. He always looks to run. He's a run-first quarterback. And guess what? You can pick up injuries. You get hurt by doing that. And shocker, year 2, it's happening. He's had nowhere near the season this year that he had last year. Nowhere close. Picking up injuries left and right.
100% believe. But that's what, when you're a running quarterback, that's the risk you run.
Yep.
That's the risk you run. And as you get older, you must learn to throw from the pocket. And so many of these guys have never had to do that because they don't coach it anymore. What teams do from high school and college and now into the pros, they just put their best athlete at quarterback.
Correct.
Guy's got a big, strong arm, and they just let him run around out there and play hero ball.
Or it's so much bigger and physically dominant compared to everybody else, so they can just run through everyone.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
You're not teaching them anything at all. You're utilizing the fact that you have a guy who's so much bigger than everybody else and can just, it's just pulverize all the other smaller kids, which doesn't benefit him in the long run.
Exactly. That's what you want. That's why guys need to learn. They need to learn their footwork. So many guys, Cam Ward's footwork is just terrible. You look at Cam Ward today for Tennessee. They don't have footwork. Why? Because they're not taught the fundamentals, because they're just so athletic. Okay, guys coming.
Which is crazy because he was working out with Brady.
I'm just going to pull the ball down and I'm going to run. That's what
you know
they
that,
do.
Right?
Yes. You got to pull your – okay, but Brady's not his quarterback coach.
I'm not saying he's not his quarterback coach. I'm just saying it's wild the fact that he was working out with Brady and Brady. I mean, maybe Brady told him what to do and he just doesn't do it. I don't know.
That's the whole thing. They resort to
what they're familiar with.
When the bullets are flying, they resort back to what they are, which is I'm an athlete, I'm going to run. The best quarterbacks in the history of the game, period, are the ones who are able to stand in the pocket and complete passes and see the field and know what they're doing out there.
Nope,
when you're running around and just guessing and just throwing the ball up for grabs, you're not a good quarterback. I mean, you might get lucky and have some plays, but you're not a great quarterback. And if you're a guy who likes to run around, you're not a great quarterback.
You're an athlete, not a quarterback. Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
And that's fine, but those guys don't play until they're 35, 36, 37.
God, no. You pick up injuries.
Once you cannot run anymore, when you lose that, then your game is over because you don't learn the finer points of the game. And it's not like, okay, well, I'm 30 now. I'm going to totally revamp my game. That's not the way it works. You're building on it every single year. You should be building on it from high school to college to the pros. In the olden days of yesteryear, a guy comes in as a first-round draft pick quarterback. He sat on the bench for a couple of years, and he learned.
Yep.
Now there's too much money involved.
They're thrown right in immediately.
They're thrown right in. They maybe get 4 or 5 weeks watching on the bench, and you don't learn you don't learn how to be a professional. I don't mean a professional person or anything like that, but what it takes to be a professional quarterback, how to keep your team moving forward, make smart plays.
Yep.
It's a shame, honestly. The game is deteriorating. I think it's very obvious the game's not as good. The league could care less.
Nope.
They love to have
eyes
these
on
games.
the sets.
That's right. They love these games coming down. Oh, it's a 3-point game with 50 seconds left, and the team that's down is driving the ball. They love that. That's their end game. That's what they like. They want it to be like basketball, where every game comes down to the last 2 minutes.
Micah Parsons said it perfectly, and I can see here in a second to pull up his quote that he had. Or here, if you want to continue talking, I'll pull it up while we're.
If you just pop up a couple of comments, I'll do that.
Yeah.
So I know we're a little bit behind on the comments here. JP says the truth comes out. Is Carl the Truth Williams, the boxer, making a comeback? I have not heard that. And if he does, it's a mistake. He got to be 50. What does it tell you about the state of the boxing game, where a guy who's 50 plus was going to come out and try to unretire? Just come on. Just no. Gungun says on the game-winning goal last night, Anders Lee showed some cojones. Grumpy, did you ever eat fried bologna? I don't like bologna. I've always hated bologna. Hated it. It was like the worst sandwich meat. Ugh, bologna. Ugh. Make you want to throw up. Next, please. Gungun says, I know it's way too early, but it looks like Schaefer can become a Potvin type. Son X, did Joker 2 live up to the hype? Did you see Joker 2?
I did not see Joker 2.
I watched Joker 2.
Yeah, I did not see it.
It was buried by the critics. I didn't like the way it ended, but I didn't think it was as bad as people said. Was it the worst film of the year last year? I don't think so, not by a long shot.
Yep. And here's the quote we have from Micah Parsons. This is Micah Parsons had a lot to say about NFL officiating. He said they don't call offsides for offense, but they'll call it on the defense. They won't call offensive pass interference, but they'll call it on the defense pass interference immediately. We know that we know what they're trying to do. They want to load the points up so fans can be happy. They call defensive holding, but they won't call offensive holding. Let's just wake up. It's just one of those things that we know what the higher ups are trying to do. It says we put so much emphasis on protecting offense, protecting offense, protect the defense. A guy could be trying to catch the ball and you make a defensive play so he doesn't catch it, and it's targeting, it's a flag, but a defensive end can be rushing and engaged with another player, and that guy can come blow his ribs out, and we're not considered defenseless. That's complete BS. That's not good football. Yeah, he has a lot of issues where it's very apparent. He's saying it's very apparent that the league is doing everything to benefit the offense and nothing to help out the defense. They want as much scoring as possible as opposed to, defense making plays. And he's not wrong.
Why?
It's literally what we just said.
Why?
Because it keeps, as he said, keeps fans entertained.
It's about money. It's always about money. The game, people will watch things that are exciting at the end. That's why soccer is never freaking ever going to catch on in the United States of America. Never.
Lies, Grumpy.
Never.
Lies.
Never.
Lies,
Freaking ever.
It's okay.
Not enough scoring. Not enough excitement. Period. If you score 1-2 goals a game, that is not enough scoring for the regular American fan. They want to see games that are back and forth. The officiating has been benefiting the offense for decades.
Yep.
Decades. They keep on relaxing or making the rules tougher on defenses to play defense. Every single rule is put in there to benefit the offense.
The offense. Yep.
Why do they want to ban the tush push? Because it's a boring play. Doesn't matter that the team can't stop it. It's a boring play. You listen to the announcers. Oh, this is a scrum out there. This isn't football. This is, just like grinding out. I'm sorry. Find a way to stop it. And they want to take that play away. They're trying to get public interest to take the play away.
Yep.
They should. Oh, well, that should have been a false start. There should have been that. The officials saying it's too tough to referee those plays. Well, dude, you're getting paid
better officials then.
You're getting paid an awful lot of money to officiate those plays. Well, it's not my fault that you can't get it done. Sorry.
Yep. And now, Grumpy, I have a question on this right here. I've had this up for a minute here. I want to show you this. It says one of the biggest holes in football rule books. It says if this is out of bounds, which it is because the heel after the toe, then how are toe drag swag catches inbounds when those heels absolutely end up out of bounds? And now we can go ahead and roll the clip here. And I want your opinion on this, Grumpy.
Okay, this one here is just 1 foot down, of course.
So that's clearly inbounds before the heel is, right?
Yep.
But the heel hits out of bounds. Would you consider that inbounds or out of bounds?
It should be out of bounds.
But every time players have toe tap catches inbounds, but their heels never hit inbounds, how do you consider those inbounds catches?
Because their heels don't hit the ground.
They do. They hit out of bounds.
Not on a toe tap, they do not.
Yeah, they do afterwards. How do you think that? So you think that they just stay on their tippy toes?
Okay,
the whole time?
This guy, his only foot that's landing is out of bounds.
But his toes hit the ground before his heel does.
Okay, a toe tap doesn't mean it means you're just tapping those two toes and then you're out of bounds. You did not land any part of making the play out of bounds. This is a continuation of the foot going down. Absolutely, this is a play out of bounds. If he just tapped it and fell out of bounds without his foot touching the ground, it would have been a touchdown because no part of his foot landed out of bounds. His foot is out of bounds here. It should be incomplete pass. If he just tapped it and jumped out of bounds, it's a cut touchdown. That's the way I look at it. Because no part of his foot ever hit out of bounds on a toe tap. They just don't. That's why they're touchdowns. That's why
Agree to disagree. To disagree.
Okay, well, you're just wrong. That's fine.
Okay, that's fine. Do you think I'm wrong?
Guess what? Guess who else thinks you're wrong? Everybody else.
No one.
The officials.
You mean the same people who are paid to mess up calls? Those people? Yeah. Sorry, I have no interest in what they have to say.
If all he did
absolutely zero.
If all he did was tap where the balls of his foot hit and he jumps out of bounds, it's a touchdown. The fact is The play landed. He landed on his foot. It was out of bounds. It's at an incomplete. And it was that the call? Was it incomplete?
Can't have one without the other. Yeah, they called it incomplete.
Okay, there you go. You're right. Hey, tell you, wrong there. Next comment, please.
Well, no, I'm going to pull this up.
This is This is Notre Dame.
Notre Dame against USC. They said this is the worst interception of all time.
Oh my God, where are you going? What the hell? Just throw it away, dude. It's not the worst interception of all time.
It's pretty bad though.
It's not the worst. It's not even the worst interception I saw yesterday.
You've seen worse?
It's not even. It's not even close to the worst interception ever. Not even close.
I did want to put this up here. This says
it was dumb. So many of these kids, they don't realize throw the ball away.
This is dog Cam Scatabo literally seeking out CT on the end of his runs.
Yeah, he's not going to last. He will not see a second contract. But we need that watching in college.
Thomas the block.
Yes. Watch this. He's already in the end zone. Oh my God. I guess the one good thing is he looks like he has no neck. It looks like his neck is it looks like his head is just fused to his traps. It doesn't look like he has a neck when he plays.
Okay. Should that Denver player not have pulled up?
Probably should have, yeah, because he was definitely
in the end zone, right? Well in the end zone.
Oh my God.
I mean, he's never making a play on that. Never making a play on that.
No. I'm just like, holy cow.
But he does look for contact, and it's going to shorten his career. And I'm not saying he's going to have CTE, but he's going to get a bunch of injuries. He is. You can't play like that. If you want to last a while, cannot play like that. Like I said, he's a one and done contract guy.
Yes, I agree.
He's going to have 2, 3, maybe 4 years being productive, and he'll be finished.
No, I agree.
Those guys don't last. Period.
And then we had here, I can pull this up. Sorry, I accidentally exit out of my share screen here. Let's get this back up here. Yes, this says, Dan Schneider as well says, no future with Brian Daboll. Daboll is not the only reason they lost, but I've tracked this team his entire tenure. Daboll coaches not to lose rather than to win. That's a hopeless mentality. Run, pass. Those last 2 possessions. McAdney over Koo despite the missed extra point.
Yeah, see, I don't get that. I mean, they brought the Koo. I thought the Koo kid played last week for them.
He might have, but yeah.
I thought they did. And I'm going to go with the experienced kicker, who maybe he missed a couple of kicks in Atlanta, but he's been a really good kicker for a long time.
Yeah,
right?
Koo's been really good. Yeah, top in the league. Honestly, like what, 2-3 years ago was top kicker in the league.
I mean, Nick Folk is still kicking field goals. Yeah. I think he's at, I don't know what they said, 88 or 98 in a row from inside 40 yards. Wow. You know what? And he's 40 years older, thereabouts. You want guys who are consistent. You know, I don't care. Oh, man, he kicked a ball 1,000 yards. I don't care how far you can kick it. Can you knock it through the 2 uprights when there's like 30 seconds to go in a game, and it's the difference between, you know, advancing in the playoffs or going home?
This is something that Drew sent us. That Tua Tagovailoa has the most 2+ interception games in the NFL since 2022. He's done it 12 times. Oh, my God.
He is so bad.
Tua turned the ball over.
Miami is hideous.
Yes. Quinn Ewers had to come in today. Yeah, him and McDaniels need to go. Tua and McDaniels.
McDaniels will be the first one to go.
He should be second.
The fact that he's not going in season and he's under contract.
He sucks.
Okay, but he's not going anywhere. They're not cutting him. McDaniels absolutely is going. It wouldn't surprise me if it's tomorrow. You got throttled by the Browns.
A team that's 1-5.
We're playing a rookie 4th-round draft pick, or 3rd-round draft pick quarterback.
Who's
no great shakes.
No.
Tua is just, I'm sorry. He's just not good enough. He's never been good enough. We talked about this years ago.
We knew it.
He's got a noodle arm. He is what he is.
Noodle arm and noodle brain.
He's even got his hands like this, thinking about his next concussion. Look at it.
He's got a mashed potato brain.
Yeah.
God.
I mean,
yeah.
The Dolphins are bad. The only thing that's saving them is that the Jets are worse. Aaron Glenn does not make it out of this season either. They're horrible.
No, I agree. I agree.
Carolina Panthers. Are the Carolina Panthers a great team?
No. God, no.
They're 3-4 after this week. We were talking about how they're the worst team in the league 3 weeks ago. Now they're 3-4. They lost their starting quarterback in that game and still beat the Jets.
Yep.
Think about that. Still beat the Jets. The Jets are terrible. Justin Fields just likes to run the ball. He'll have a game where he pops, but just not good enough. Sorry.
Now the moment of truth has come out, Grumpy. That's what we titled the show. The truth comes out. Dov goes ahead and says, football fans are finally waking up. Let's give a listen.
You are now learning that everything I've been saying about the NFL rigging games on behalf of Kansas City through the officials is happening in real time. The officials confirmed it to Dan Campbell, because Dan Campbell just said on an interview on the Ticket in Detroit that when he was questioning, we just scored a touchdown, why are we being forced to wait 1 minute and 14 seconds to kick the extra point? Was because the NFL New York picked up the phone, buzzed into the officiating crew, and told them overturn the touchdown and created a penalty that was not called by any official on the field. If you thought Spygate was a big deal, and it was, if you thought Deflategate was a big deal, probably wasn't, then this is the biggest deal of all.
Right.
Because this is the NFL controlling the outcome of games to favor a team that they think they need to make it to a Super Bowl. This is everything wrong with the NFL as led by Roger Goodell. Outside of fixing games by players, this is the biggest scandal this sport has ever had.
Thoughts?
It's obvious the Chiefs have been getting a boatload of calls the last number of years, and they're always in pivotal situations. That's when they happen. I remember that Cincinnati game where they called pass interference on a 4th and 10 in the regular season. I'm like, that's not even a penalty. And they waited and they waited and they waited and they waited. Then they threw the flag. That play was over 5 seconds before they threw a flag. It's obvious. Like I said, when normies notice it, and we talked about it last year, when normies notice it, it's a problem for the league. The league doesn't think so. It is. And as long as they keep, turning that money out, which is all they care about, it's all the owners care about, it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. I think the product is really bad right now. I think the game is poor. But the games are, they're exciting at the end, which is what the NFL wants. That's what the whole thing's about. The game we went to yesterday, there was, just to show you how TV and money always affect these games, the clock stopped at 12:51 of the second period. The game had been going on for, I believe it was 40 minutes. They were already into the second quarter, and both teams just running ball. The clock wasn't stopping. At 12:51, the clock stopped, and there was not a play run for 11 minutes. 11 minutes. It's like, what is going on? And then at the end of the game, same thing. 6 minutes in between plays at the end of a game. What is going on? You need to get your TV commercials in? I don't care. Stop delaying stop. It affects teams when they're going and then you stop the game for 11 minutes and 6 minutes.
By the way, that was the thing that I wanted you to bring up, other than the incident that we ran into about getting ejected from the game. But that was the thing I wanted to bring you to bring up, how literally it was like 10 or 11 minutes between 11 plays. Minutes. Yeah, it's like that game, like, don't get me wrong, had a fun time. That game dragged really long. They sucked all the life out of that stadium.
Sucked the life out of the game.
In the second quarter. I was like, oh my God. I was like, this quarter's taking forever. And it's for all TV revenue.
And it's like, it's amazing how those games, almost invariable, every single one ends the first half at 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Yep.
That's what they do. How is it possible, you'd say? How is it physically possible for that to happen? Every game to be, oh, look at this.
Yep. And then this says finance professors at UTEP just released a peer-reviewed study that shows the NFL and the officials favor the Kansas City Chiefs significantly, especially in the playoffs, in order to protect their market appeal and make them more money. Here we go. Let's go ahead and watch this.
This study just proved that the NFL is biased for the Chiefs. And for all the non-Chiefs fans out there who've been thinking this for the past however many years, you're not crazy. And listen, I talk about stories that ESPN doesn't cover, so if you want more of that, make sure you follow me. So this is a peer-reviewed study that was released last night by finance professors at the University of Texas, El Paso, who looked at thousands of penalty calls from 2013 to 2023. And they found undeniable proof that when money is on the line for the NFL in playoff games, officiating significantly benefits the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just relaying the info here, so don't come after the messenger, but here's some receipts. Our findings suggest that when the league's financial health is at stake, rule enforcement may subtly shift to protect market appeal. The fact that postseason penalties consistently favored one franchise while similar dynasties showed no such pattern, he's talking about the Patriots and Tom Brady, points to the powerful role of financial incentives in shaping supposedly neutral decisions. And this is the last part. The study shows that during the playoffs, which the research team identified as the NFL's most commercially valuable period, penalties against opposing defenses of the Chiefs' offense were significantly more likely to result in first downs, cover more yardage, and fall into subjective categories such as roughing the passer or pass interference. And to put all that 30 seconds together, it basically just means the Chiefs get a lot more calls than everybody else, especially in the playoffs, which was likely a big reason why they got blown out last year in the Super Bowl. Again, I'm just the messenger. Don't come after me, but
yeah. Anyway, I think this study, from what I had read, said that they receive, I think it was like 45 or 46% more roughing the passer penalties than any other franchise in the NFL.
Now, Patrick Mahomes is running the ball an awful lot more this year. They can't run the ball. So he's been running the ball an awful lot this year. I mean, I'm sorry. If I'm the other team, I'm running at him. If he's running, I'm going to hit you.
But here's the thing. You can't.
Well, take the 15. Who can take the 15?
Even if he's hitting down, it's 15 yard penalty.
Okay, if you knock him out of the game in the first quarter,
they'd probably end the game. They'd probably end the game and go ahead and give the win to the Chiefs and then give them the win in the next round.
Here's the thing. When he wants a dipsy doodle and all that stuff, tap dance around the sideline, I'm laying him out. I'm laying him out. You only got to do it once or twice. Believe me, he's a little brittle. We all know that. He's brittle. You hit him hard, he gets injured. So he's not tough like Brady was. So, he takes a shot like that, he goes out. You got to, that's what I'm just saying. When you're running out there, you're a freaking running back. And you get hit, you're going to get hit, and you're going to hit hard. These guys, I'd never ease up on an opponent. Never. Take the 15.
Not to mention we have this right here, which says Jackson Smith-Njigba makes a play, spins the ball, and gets a taunting penalty. Patrick Mahomes makes a play, spins the ball, points to the defender, then flexes, and no call. Do better, NFL. And this is showing the side-by-side comparison of each play.
And
yeah, they both should have been penalties.
And only one was the other.
They both should have been penalties.
Agreed that they both should be taunting penalties. But here's the thing. You're setting a precedent in the league where only certain players get hit with that penalty.
And the way you stop it is by flagging everybody.
But they're not going to.
Well, that's the way you stop it, though.
They're going to leave one specific team out from getting penalized.
Well, we'll see what happens. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are now the favorites
to win the Super Bowl. Absolutely is.
And here's the thing. It's not because they're getting calls, okay?
Oh, I think it is. The past few games, okay, they would mathematically probably be eliminated from the playoffs if they didn't get certain calls. They should have lost to the Lions. They should have lost to the Lions. They should have lost to the Lions. They absolutely should have lost to the Lions.
The Lions
should have.
No, the Lions and Dan Campbell shit themselves.
No. Wrong.
What was the score of that game? What was the score of that game? I'm just
take 7 points off the board.
What was the score of the game?
Off the board, it's a different game.
What's the score? And it was only 4 points. What's the score of the game?
They're not having to chase points the whole rest of the game, though.
Well, if that imbecile isn't going for every fourth down, I mean,
they wouldn't have had to go for fourth downs. They would have been tie game.
Just tell me what the final score of the game was.
I don't know what the final score of the game was. I don't know what the final score.
They were beat by double digits. That game wasn't close. That game was not close. Kansas City's really good. They're really good defensively. They've been really good defensively all year. They've been bad offensively.
It was 30-17.
Okay, that's like I said. That's 13 points. That's
So really, it should have been 30-21.
Okay.
If you count the extra 4 points in there that they just robbed the Lions of.
That game was not close.
Not to mention a block in the back that occurred on a touchdown drive that wasn't called. No, you got to put that in there. No, you can't. You cannot not put that in there. They had a whole Travis Kelce had a holding penalty too that wasn't called. All that shit adds up. They didn't get a single penalty all fucking game. How are you not going to say that shit didn't help them out?
If you watch that game,
they didn't get a single penalty all game. Not one penalty all game.
If you watch that game, who was the better team?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. I do not care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care one bit. You have to care about the officiating. Officials can absolutely change the outcome of a game.
They can.
100% can.
They can. They did not affect the outcome of that game.
How can you say that they didn't affect the outcome of that game?
Because
Who's
it was
to say
the
that they
first
convert
quarter.
those drives?
It was the first drive
Who's to
of the
say that they
first quarter.
convert those drives? Who's with the holding penalty and the block in the back penalty? Who's to say that they convert those drives, Grumpy?
Okay, it's the first drive of the first
what?
quarter.
Who's to say that they convert those drives?
Kansas City's better than Detroit. Detroit
drives.
has a stupid head coach who continues to go for shit every fourth down, and it doesn't work. They put themselves in bad situations. How many times?
Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree. Don't worry. I guarantee you when they play some shit squad, they'll load up a fuck ton of penalties against them because hey, you know what? This is a shitty team. We can go ahead and throw 50,000 penalties against them because there's no shot that the Chiefs will lose. But then at the end of the year, we can go ahead and say, hey, look, but we still called penalties on the Chiefs. Look at all the penalties that they had this season. Oh yeah, you didn't realize they were all in one game. Or they were on drives that didn't matter when they already backed up 50 fucking yards. I can't deal with that, dude. They get every fucking call.
At the end of the day, Kansas City's a really good team.
They get every single
really good team.
They get every single fucking call.
I think the NFL in general.
The stats prove it. The study proves it. They get every fucking call.
Can you shut up just for a second, please? The NFL in general is really, really down. Kansas City is a good team. They've been a good team for a number of years. They absolutely have. But all the other good teams are having bad years for whatever reason. Are they going to win the Super Bowl? I have no idea.
They absolutely are. You can book that shit. You can book it now.
I'm going to say that as of right now,
winning.
They're absolutely one of the favorites.
They're winning.
And they're playing.
The fact that Rashee Rice is even allowed to fucking play is an honest joke. It's honestly a joke. He should not be playing. He shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't be playing.
Suspension, dude.
He should not be playing.
But he served the suspension.
So if you were to reckon to 6 people, and send people to ICU, you shouldn't lose your job then, right? You shouldn't lose your job. You should just serve a little suspension.
It's the NFL, dude.
It's a joke.
It's the NFL.
It's a joke. It's a joke. And Roger Goodell is an absolute clown. Okay. He's a fucking clown.
Okay, but you have to be. I don't. All those things might be true, but you have to admit Kansas City's a good team. You just have to admit they're a good team. They are.
I think they get help from the officials, though. I think they're good. I think they're good. I think they benefit a shit ton more than any other team, any other franchise in the history of the NFL. They benefit from officiating, as the study proves.
I agree that I absolutely agree that they get beneficial calls at times. That does not take away that they're a good team. Do they need that to win? I don't think they do. They're good. And I don't think the league.
I think they fucking need the league's help to win. I absolutely think they need the league's help to win. I definitely do.
Okay, let's move on.
No penalties last week. Zero penalties. Really? 0 penalties in that game. Okay. Sure. Let's get to some comments.
Let's move on. Gungun says, Jaromir Jagr started his 38th pro hockey season at age 53. Wow. Does Dog Z prefer relief on a fire height or a tree?
Tree.
Does he even use a tree or does he just use the grass?
Shrubs, tree, grass. It'll pee pretty much anywhere.
He does. I don't think there's anything special about his habits.
He goes to the bathroom everywhere.
Yeah. JP says, 99 on the Giants. Not a great one of field goal kicker. Yeah, he sucks. He's terrible. He's gone. Ryan Richards. How you doing, Ryan? Doing good. What happened with the Giants? Jackson Dart threw a really bad interception. I think there was like 4.5 minutes to go in the game, or maybe 6 minutes to go. They were up by 18 points with 6 minutes to go, and they lost that game. Do the Giants fall apart from here on out? I don't know. That's a bad.
I don't see them falling
bad
apart.
loss.
I don't see them falling apart.
You lose a game like that,
Nope, they'll be fine.
It really tests your team's mental strength.
They'll be fine.
The Giants are not fine.
Does it really matter? Does it really matter, though? Let's be honest. Does it really matter? Everybody's fighting for second, so I don't think it really matters.
Oh, my God.
It's
I'm
the
talking about
truth.
the Giants. I'm talking about the Giants.
Again, every team's fighting for second,
It's
other than one
bad
team.
for the team. It's bad for the team to lose.
I don't think it
a game
really
like
matters
that.
at all.
That's a game where they got an awful lot of breaks.
I guess if you want to fight to be the runner-up in the Super Bowl, then yeah, it matters. But
That's where the deflected passes bounces off of one Giant receiver's hands into the tight end's hands. He runs in for a touchdown. Those are lucky plays, right? The Giants benefited from that. I think they have the quarterback. I'm interested to see how they play next week. How do you bounce back emotionally and mentally after losing a game that you absolutely never should have lost? They should have beat Kansas City. They should have.
That's on the coach for playing shitty ass Russell Wilson. That's on the coach. Like I said, week 3 he should have been starting. Guess what? They start in week 3. They win that game. Like I said,
they should have beat Denver today. And then after, like I said, you're up 18 points. It was like a 3rd and 10, and he throws a pick.
They're playing the Eagles next week. They'll lose to the Eagles.
I think they'll lose to the Eagles also.
The Eagles will beat them.
Considering they beat the Eagles just 2 weeks ago.
So you also have to remember there was no Jalen Carter 2 weeks ago, too.
Jalen Carter's not the reason why the Eagles
He's the best defensive tackle in the NFL.
Jalen Carter's not the reason why the
tackle in the NFL. He's the best defensive tackle in the NFL. It's like the Rams being without Aaron Donald. It's like the Rams being without Aaron Donald. You think that's not going to affect them? Please.
Jalen Carter is not the reason why the Giants absolutely throttled the Eagles.
They could not stop the run the entire game. They could not stop the run at all.
Hey, look up the stats. They didn't have a whole lot of rushing yards.
They did have rushing yards.
They did not have. They had a bunch of touchdowns. They did not have a whole bunch of rushing yards. Jackson Dart running the ball out of the pocket. That's how they were getting their yards.
You think 172 rushing yards is not a lot? You think 172 rushing yards is not a lot of rushing yards?
How many of those?
Please stop.
How many of those are from your quarterback running the ball?
Doesn't matter. You had 172 rushing yards. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the run. You don't think that Jalen Carter can get pressure on the inside?
No.
I don't think. Bullshit. Bullshit. Sorry.
Jalen Carter does not stop the quarterback rollouts that Jackson Dart had. He doesn't. He stops the runs up the middle.
Do you not think that he ran up the middle at all in that game? Did you watch it?
You realize these?
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did watch the game. And how bad were the Giants beat? How bad the Giants beat them?
172 rushing yards, but they didn't have any.
What was the final score of that game?
34-17.
Okay, Jalen Carter's not a 17-point player.
He would have stopped the majority of those rushing yards that they had. I'm going to let you know that. They almost had more rushing yards than they had passing yards. So again, to say that they didn't run the ball at all is BS. It's BS. It's BS, Grumpy.
Bottom line
172 rushing yards and 194 passing yards. They didn't run the ball.
I think the Eagles are going to come out and play much better against the Giants the next.
Yes, because they will have Jalen Carter back. That's correct.
It doesn't matter if Jalen Carter, they're not.
Because they will have Jalen Carter
not even playing now. He didn't even play today.
He will be back.
You don't know that.
I guarantee you he'll be back next week.
Even if he's not, I don't care. They're not next week. What did the Eagles start to do the last couple of weeks that they didn't do before then? You know what they started doing? They started throwing the ball a little bit.
Well, you can't say they didn't throw the ball because they had almost 300 passing yards in that game against the Giants. So they were throwing the ball against the Giants.
Because they fell behind.
Okay, they're still throwing the ball against the Giants.
But look at how the Eagles in the last 2 weeks, their offense has changed. Now they're throwing the ball an awful lot more. Saquon Barkley is not getting anywhere near the touches he was earlier. They're throwing the ball down the field more. When you throw the ball down the field, you open up the run game. They were too predictable on offense previously. Now it's changed.
It says, rest in peace, Doug Martin. Yes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back Doug Martin passed away today. The age, I think, was 35.
36, I think it was.
36. Okay. Yep. It's a shame.
I don't know how he passed away, but rest in peace, Doug Martin. He was good. He was a good running back for a little while there.
Yeah.
And there was another death in the sports world today.
Let's see. I think Gungun might have.
Jesus Montero.
Oh, wow.
Died in a motorcycle accident today.
Wow.
Yep. I remember him as the big Yankee catching prospect.
Wow.
I
remember we were big on him. I remember we went to go see him play.
There was no way the Yankees were going to trade. They wanted Cliff Lee back in the day when they needed starting pitching, going into the playoffs. And there was no way they were moving Jesus Montero. Well, Jesus Montero never panned out. And Cliff Lee was a damn good pitcher and probably could have won the Yankees another World Series if they picked him up. Like I often say, they're prospects until they're not. And I think that's the biggest thing. When you see anybody, you can do it once. Can you continue to do it? That's what makes a really great player.
And this says, how much, then Drew also sent us this, says, how much does Brian Daboll love Jackson Dart? He wanted Joe Schoen, I probably butchered his last name, to draft Jackson Dart with the 3rd overall in the 2025 draft, per Gary Myers, New York, on his Saturday show. Let's go ahead and give it a listen.
I think it just exemplifies Brian's attachment to Jackson Dart, so to speak. And I've told you the last 2 weeks that from a very good source, I have it, that Daboll actually wanted to pick Dart 3rd overall instead of Abdul Carter. It worked out perfectly for the Giants. They got Carter, who's starting to come on a little bit with the pressure on the quarterback, and they were able to trade up the 2nd-round pick plus 2 third-round picks to move up to number 25 to get Dart. So they got the 2 players that, probably on their wish list were the 2 players they really wanted. Brian wanted to move up all the way to 3, not to move up, but just use the 3rd pick in the draft on Dart, which would have been a little bit of a reach. Now, the way he's played so far, if you get your franchise quarterback, you take him wherever you can if you feel that strongly about him. But Joe Schoen played the board perfectly, got Abdul Carter, who would not have lasted more than another two picks if the Giants didn't take him, and then obviously was able to get Jackson Dart at number 25. 1-800-919.
Okay. And that's smart. I mean, that's why you don't let head coaches make
decisions,
because you have to know where a guy is predicted to go.
Projected to land,
Right?
Yep.
And Abdul Carter could have been number 1 overall, honestly, right? If it wasn't for the quarterback. He was probably the best player coming out of the draft, that draft class, the best player. Quarterbacks always get drafted higher. But there was no way Jackson Dart was going to the top 10. Okay? Some people said he might last till the 2nd round. Okay, you have a strong conviction on him. Move a couple of seconds in a 3rd. You move up and you get him in number 17. You got the 2 best guys. And Gary Myers 100% correct. There's no way Abdul Carter's lasting until 17. He was the consensus top player, regardless of position in the draft. Okay. MV Pat is back. Let's see. I'll see if I can guess which of the Monroe boys this is. Would like to give a shout out to Man United for knocking off Liverpool today. This has got to be Derek.
Yes.
Liverpool getting no points today could pay off huge dividends in Arsenal's title run this year.
Yeah, that's a bad loss for Liverpool.
It's funny
at home to mention that as well. At home at Anfield.
Okay. It must be hell in the Monroe house. I know they don't live together anymore, but still, whenever they get together, because one's a Liverpool fan, one's an Arsenal fan. And they're just, I think
divided.
They're polar opposites. So it must be difficult.
Yeah.
Just saying. And here's Derek Monroe again. After the Browns blow up Miami today, should McDaniel be fired this week? I thought it was coming for 2 to 3 weeks now. I think I think tomorrow he's gone.
Yes.
They're bad. They're just, after Tua comes out last week and, says they had the player only meeting.
That nobody's showing up to or showing up late. That's bad news.
He's ripping teammates. And Mike McDaniels comes out and says, no, that's not true. Okay, dude. The fact that why is anyone even talking to the press about this? It tells me that you've lost control of the room. He's gone.
I don't know if you heard Carson Beck, and also another thing we'll touch base on this real quick. Miami lost this weekend. So they're no longer undefeated. And Carson Beck,
Miami University in college.
Yes. Lost this weekend. And Carson Beck pretty much came out in their presser and they were asking him about the interception. And he pretty much threw his wide receiver under the bus and said, yeah, you ran the wrong route. As a leader of your team, do you do that?
Okay. I'm going to go back to Brady again You never, ever, ever, ever saw Brady throw a teammate under the bus. Ever.
Yes.
That's what a leader does not do that. When I hear that, Carson Beck is off my draft board.
Literally said receiver ran the wrong route.
You know, you can say things like, yeah, that was it. Doesn't his thing, as long as the coach knows what's happening, that's all that really matters, because the coach is the one who controls playing time, right? It's not the media, it's not anything else. And you can say, yep, you know, it's a team win, team loss, whatever. I mean, I threw 4 interceptions there. That's unacceptable in any game. That's all he had to say. That's all he had to say, because there were times in New England when guys obviously ran wrong routes and doing things they shouldn't have done, and Brady would put the blame on himself. That's what a real leader does.
On that last play, that last interception, were you not expecting that defender to be there? They're running that kind of sim pressure and they're popping out at the snap.
I mean, we have a perfect play for it. We had a miscommunication with the route and what we were doing. So, yeah, just sort of ran the route wrong, and I went to go throw it because we're hot off of pressure, and again, he made a good play on it. So, but it definitely didn't help that we ran the wrong play.
Okay.
On that last play, that last interception.
All he had to say was there was a miscommunication, and he started it right.
Yeah.
He started it right. There was a miscommunication. That's all he had to say. That's all he had to say. He did not have to add on anything else.
We ran the wrong route. Yeah. I was just like,
Yeah,
oh,
just
dude.
there was a miscommunication. That's it. I mean, he's not taking the blame, and he's not giving the blame to somebody else. He's just, yep, we had a miscommunication, and it cost us on that play. But here's the thing. Miami didn't deserve to win yesterday either.
Nope.
Derek Monroe says, Shohei Ohtani puts up a performance only Babe Ruth can ever dream of to send the Dodgers to the World Series. 3 for 3, 3 home runs, 6 innings pitched, 10 Ks, 0 yards. Insane.
And here we go. I got
that
this.
was a big game for him.
Yeah. It says the life of a Shohei. It says 3 for 3, 3 home runs, 3 yards, 1 base on balls. And then also 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 runs, 3 base on balls, and 10 strikeouts. Do you think that this is good for baseball? As I said, remember when I said that they were definitely going to make it to the World Series and they're going to win the World Series this year? Do you think that this is good for baseball?
Is anyone even watching these games?
I haven't.
I don't know. I haven't either. I don't know what the ratings are.
They should be trash.
Well, I don't. Like I said, I don't even know if that is even on most of the time. It's a shame.
Well, here's the thing: you let one team take deferred money for all their players.
Okay, but there's nothing written into the CBA that says they can't do that, and there's nothing to say that player contracts are not allowed to have that. There is no salary cap in Major League Baseball. They can do whatever they want. You might not like it, but the players are willing to take the deferred money, which lessens the value of the deal. If
I was a player, what I would do is I would make a super team where I'd take all the best players off of every team to beat the Dodgers. I'd make one mega team, just like they do in basketball. I'd make a mega team and say, here we go, no problem, Dodgers. You want to do this? We'll do it right back to you.
Okay.
And then it's just those two teams facing off against each other every year. Would that be enjoyable? Would that be good content? Would that be good for the league?
You do realize that teams could do that, but ownership has to be willing to do it. What's the thing about the Dodgers ownership? They do not care about the money that they're going to be paying 20 years from now because they're going to sell the team at some point in time. They're not going to.
You shouldn't be allowed to do that. Who the hell? Okay, would you buy a team that owes him that much money? Would you buy a team like that? I wouldn't.
But maybe that would lower the value of the price. Who knows? I don't know. But nothing that they're doing is illegal. I don't like it. I think it hurts. I think it hurts the league.
It hurts the product. The product's shit.
I'm surprised that players are taking less money to go there.
Well, they know that they're going to. So why would you be surprised for that? Here's what happens. The players take less money. They get the LA contract. They get all the money. They get all the benefits of living in LA. And guess what they do? When their contract comes and it becomes payday, they move to a state like Florida or Texas with no income tax, and they live there and make all their money. That's exactly what they're going to do. Why would that be? That's smart by them.
I'm just surprised that they're making less money because they're not getting paid in today's dollars. Like, let's say something that's $1 million today, 10 years from now, it's only worth 500,000. You're losing that value of that. That's
but
what
let's say if the state that you play in, like Los Angeles, takes 50% of your income, well, then you're technically making the same amount because you're making 100% of that.
Okay.
With no income tax.
You're only doing that for 81 days of your salary. When you're playing out of state, you're not paying that extra. I mean, I don't know where they live. I don't know where the legal residents.
I'm sure they all live where they play.
You don't. I mean, there could be a
somebody's taking a flight in every day.
Their primary residence could be Arizona or Nevada. You don't know. I don't know either. I'm just surprised.
Well, I think it's where your paycheck comes from.
No, that's not where your legal residence is. That's not true. But
okay.
That being said, I'm just surprised that the players are taking substantially less money by deferring these payments than what they could earn.
Substantially less money, though.
It is substantially less because you're not
getting $700 million. You think that's substantially
you're talking about
less?
One guy. They've done deferred contracts with just about everyone in the last couple of years. That's what they're doing. It keeps them under the luxury tax.
Here's the thing. They're not going to be able to sell the team is what's going to end up happening. They're not going to be able to sell the team.
But they're not looking to sell the team right now. Who knows?
Well, they'll sell them. They'll sell them in 10 years is what they'll look to do. When all the deferred contracts come up and they need to owe that, they'll be like, oh, we'll file for bankruptcy is what they're going to do.
File for bankruptcy.
That's what they'll do.
The LA Dodgers are not filing for bankruptcy.
They'll file for bankruptcy on the team.
My gosh, you just
get out of it. And then this says, we joined the baseball community in mourning the passing of former Major League player Jesus Montero. This is what we spoke about earlier. As a minor league prospect, Montero appeared in the All-Star Futures game twice before debuting for the New York Yankees in September 2011. He posted a .996 OPS with 4 home runs and 12 RBIs in 18 games and helped the New York Yankees win the AL East Division title. In 4 seasons with Seattle from 2012 to 2015, the Venezuelan native hit 24 homers and drove in 92 runs across 208 games as a catcher, first baseman, and designated hitter. Montero was 35 years old when he passed.
Yeah, it's a shame. Yep. It's a shame.
Yep, it is, because I remember us going to those games, waiting to see him, get his autograph, stuff like that.
Yep.
Crazy.
Jesus Montero. Derek Monroe says Carolina Panthers have won 3 consecutive football games. Has hell frozen over? Look who they've beaten, though.
Yeah, not great.
The Jets, who are the worst team in football. What are they, 0-7 now?
Yeah, they haven't won a game. Yeah, they're the worst team in the NFL.
Okay, Miami's 1-5, 1-6. I mean,
and this says the LA Dodgers invested heavily in Shohei Ohtani, $700 million over 10 years to be exact. That investment paid off real quick, according to former ESPN reporter June Lee. The Dodgers already made the $700 million back in Shohei's first year with the team. Ticket sales, merchandise, marketing deals overseas, you name it, the Dodgers got it. And I wonder if that's why they're playing games so much overseas.
They don't play that many games overseas.
I think when did they ever play games overseas?
They've done it a couple times, but not a whole lot. They've done it a couple times.
It seems like it's happening more and
more.
It's
always the start of the season. It's always the first 3 games to start the season. I believe what it comes down to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's shady, the stuff that they're doing. I don't like it. I think it's bad for baseball. I think it's really bad for baseball to make a mega stacked super team.
Well, I mean, you know how you stop that? Get a salary cap, cut out the loopholes.
They're not going to do that, though.
The Players Association absolutely will not sign this. Will not agree to a salary cap.
Then don't complain when your product just becomes trash. I hope it becomes so bad that they can't air the sport anymore because nobody will watch it. That's what I realize.
The players only care about making money. That's why it's so.
No problem. You can make your money. I hope the ratings are so bad that they don't air the games anymore. That's what I hope happens.
Okay.
I hope the ratings become so piss poor that they no longer show the sport on television.
Okay.
Because nobody watches.
You realize they're going to show the games. They just signed.
No problem. Nobody will watch.
Okay.
Who eats that money then?
They just signed, a new contract to put the content out there. They're on Apple. I think they're going to be going.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. We saw that worked out with the MLS.
But they've been doing that for the last couple of years on Friday nights.
Good luck.
I'm just saying.
Nobody watches that shit. Nobody's going to subscribe for that.
Okay, but the Major League Baseball is not going out anytime soon.
I hope they do.
I'm just surprised that the players agreed to take less money. That was really surprising to me. But it's just for the Dodgers. I mean, but you're seeing other teams try this approach now. Hey, let's defer some of that money to when your career's over. Maybe the players feel, well, you know what? My career's got 5 years left. Okay, whatever. I want to make sure that they don't feel confident in investing money themselves, and they want to make sure they're getting paid something, 10 years out. I mean, that could be it too.
I think a lot of it is, especially if you play in a state that has a really high income tax, it's smarter to defer the money, get it all paid out at the end when you move somewhere else.
I think he only took $2 million in salary, Ohtani.
Okay, I mean, any human being can live off of $2 million in 1 year.
Right, but he also makes a boatload from endorsements in Japan.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, he makes a lot of other
Not even
money.
just that. I mean, he's the face of New Balance or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee he probably makes enough off of his endorsement deal where he doesn't have to worry about the money. But the thing is, he's taking it later. And I guarantee you, mark my words, when the 10 years comes up, his ass will not be living in LA. He will be living in a state that has zero income tax.
I think he'll be back.
My words.
I think he'll be back in Japan.
Well, how would that work with the taxes?
I have no idea.
On his income.
I'm not an accountant. I have no idea.
No.
But why would he not move back to Japan? That's where he's from.
Maybe he don't want to live there.
Okay. Still doesn't really speak English. Tells me that.
Well, I think he does speak English.
How many of the Japanese players stay in the United States? They all go back home. They all go back home.
Did Matsui, Hideki Matsui go back home?
They all go back home.
Ichiro left.
Ichiro's back in Japan.
You sure?
Where's he living? Look it
Again,
up.
I don't know. You seem so
Japan.
confident.
He's back in Japan.
Where in Japan?
Back in Japan. How the hell do I know? He's back in
Again,
Japan.
how are you going to say that you're confident?
Okinawa.
There?
He's in Okinawa.
Oh, stop.
Tokyo.
Stop. Please stop.
Okay, next comment. Let's get to the next. Google says Ace Frehley died. Rest in peace. You know what Ace Frehley is, X?
No idea.
He was a member, and also Diane Keaton.
Yes,
you know
Diane
either
Keaton.
one of these people.
Yes, Diane Keaton was in the movie The Book Club.
Okay. Can you name another movie that Diane Keaton was in?
I named one. That's all I need to name.
Okay, The Book Club. That must have been something that
Came out when I was working at the movie theater.
Okay. You can't name another Diane Keaton movie? Really?
No, not off the top of my head, no. I can name The Book Club, though.
Can you name another movie she was in?
I just verbatim told
Can
you.
you name
no.
another movie that she was in?
No.
Okay. She was in the 3 Godfather movies. She played Kay Corleone, Michael Corleone's wife. She won an Academy Award for Annie Hall. She was in Baby Boomer.
She was also in this movie called The Book Club, which I did name previously that you wanted to discredit.
That's like in her filmography. That's not even.
It's a movie that I knew that
that's
she was
not even
in.
the top 10. You just only because you had to stare at the poster. That's the only reason.
Guess what? It still counts, buddy.
Okay, Ace Frehley. Do you know who Ace Frehley is?
No.
He was in a legendary rock and roll band.
Okay.
They used to wear makeup at all their
Kiss.
shows. Kiss, yes. He was. That's right.
Did not know who that was, though.
Yeah.
Was he the one with the tongue that was sticking out, or the one with the star on his face?
That was Gene Simmons. He was the one with the star on his face.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. No, I don't think he was this. No, that was Paul Stanley was the star. He had like silver.
There was one that was a cat. One was dressed like a cat.
That
one
was
had a
Peter
star
Criss.
on his face.
Peter Criss.
Gene
Star on his
Simmons
face,
had the
Paul
tongue.
Stanley. Yeah, and Ace Frehley had like a silver. I don't know, like almost like a starburst thing on his
Okay.
face.
All right. I'll trust you. I'll trust you on it.
Gungun says, "Will Aaron Glenn go down as a legendary coach? Should Woody Johnson change his approach?" What do you think, X?
Aaron Glenn has been awful, maybe legendarily bad. So
He's horrid.
yes,
I
agreed.
told you when they hired him,
he was the wrong guy.
Wrong guy, and he's a one and done.
And then this is also something that Drew sent us. Says Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone's press conferences confirmed the Yankees are not making any changes to their approach. Expect more of the same in 2026. This is not good news.
What's up, everybody? So Cashman and Boone give their State of the Union today from Yankee Stadium, a tradition unlike any other. And I wanted to hop on just to kind of give my takeaways. And listen, this is the reality with Cashman and Boone. This is what struck me today as the most kind of key takeaway. The Yankees are no longer, this is actually a good thing. The Yankees are no longer lying to their fans. They are basically looking you in the eye and saying, we're not making changes, guys. Cashman, Boone, same positions. Nobody in the analytics department is getting replaced. Nobody in the front office is getting replaced.
How you change this? Stop buying the gear. Stop going to the games. Stop watching them on TV. That's the only way to fix the problem. Don't support the team.
We'll replace a couple people on the coaching staff. Mike Harkey, thank you for your service. Who cares? Cashman, Boone, the entire structure of the organization is not changing. And better yet, their decision-making is not changing. So don't expect this offseason changes to approach, changes to analytic approaches. It's not happening. And they're telling you that. They are so smug and so locked into their roles. I mean, they have the best job security literally in the U.S. In the world, maybe. They are telling you guys we're not making changes. So that's the first takeaway. The second takeaway that I had relates to Anthony Volpe. And it's like, this is where the gaslighting kind of continues from Aaron Boone. And I understand Aaron Boone, he defends his players. Anybody with a functioning brain can understand if you are playing baseball.
Volpe sucks.
Professional baseball with a torn.
I think we've heard enough. I don't know what else we need to hear.
All right.
The fact that they're not making changes, the Yankees aren't winning anything. They're not winning.
And as a fan base, what's the only way to make a change happen? Don't support the team.
That's not going to happen. People are still going to go.
That's just dumb. People
because
should be like, okay, I'm no longer going to support the team. I'm not going to support the direction that the team's going in. That's the only way I can make them make a change. Hit them where it hurts their wallets.
They still have Aaron Judge. People want to go see Aaron Judge hit home runs against shitty teams.
Don't care.
That's what they want. But that's all they care about. It puts fannies in seats. It keeps people watching the Yes Network. They make money from Major League Baseball. The Yankees will make the playoffs every year, and they'll get knocked out in the second or third round of the playoffs.
I can positively confirm I've not watched baseball in years because the product sucks.
Okay. I'm just telling you that from the Yankees' perspective, they don't want to bottom out. They don't want to do they play regular season baseball. Why they don't win in the playoffs? Because they're just like, let's feast on crappy pitching. Let's swing for the fences, hit home runs. That is their team. They don't know how to play small ball. They don't know how to manufacture runs. They just don't do it. Suppose Anthony Volpe, he sucks. I don't know how long you're going to wait before you cut the cord on him. Do you need a guy who hits 220? I mean, all right, he runs fast. He's one of your little draft picks. Whatever. Move on from him.
I don't know if you saw this, Grumpy.
I did.
It says Tom Wilson is the most dangerous player in the NHL. Him running at Scheidel, I probably butchered his name.
Heedle.
Like this, unprompted, is a joke. No penalty on this play. Only enables him to continue garbage like this. We can run it.
And this is terrible news for the Canucks. And that is a terrible hit by Tom Wilson.
Yeah, that's got to be a major for sure.
That's interference.
I mean, the puck's moved there. A stride, almost two strides by Heedle before he's hit. And Wilson already took a run at Connor Garland earlier in this.
Yikes.
He's on my fantasy team. He puts up good numbers. I like Tom Wilson this year. He's working for my team.
Oh,
I think Tom Wilson, all right, he's out of history. He takes cheap shots at players. He does that less and less now because the older you get, the less you want to fight. But he's still a physical presence out there, and he's turned himself from a goon into a pretty good two-way player. That's about the nicest thing I can say about him.
Here's my thing. What's the only way to stop somebody from doing that crap?
In the olden days, when you did that, there'd be fisticuffs. Absolutely. They're enforcers to go after guys.
You take a cheap shot back at him is exactly what you do. You do the same exact thing that they did to you.
Again, if you stop cutting me off all the time, they don't have enforcers anymore. They don't have guys whose very job is to protect their players. They used to have guys like that on teams. Every team had one, sometimes two. They were not great hockey players. They were not great hockey players, but they were physical presence out there.
It takes nothing to take your stick and cross-check somebody in the back of the neck. Literally nothing.
Okay.
Nothing at all. Cross-check him in the back of the neck. I'm sure that's going to hurt him. He'll think next time, hey, maybe I won't lay this guy out after he's passed the puck for 2 strides. Maybe I won't lay the guy out next time because I don't want another cross-check in the back of the neck.
Okay.
That'll get him to stop.
So who's gonna do that? Who's going to do that?
Anybody on your team can do that.
You're going to have Elias Pettersson do that? So you want one of your skill players doing that?
I wouldn't have a skill player do that. A 4th-line grinder? Yeah, sure. Go out there and cross-check him in the back of the neck. Yes, absolutely.
The problem is you need to have a physical presence to back that up. Tom Wilson is a physical presence. Period. Some teams are built for that. Most teams not anymore. That's not the way the game is played anymore.
Hack him in the back.
In the olden days, again, the players police themselves for the most part. They've taken that out of the players' hands. They just have. Every time a guy takes an open ice body check, there's a fight now. Every time. Hits it or clean. Let the players police themselves. That's fine. You don't have to hit a guy with a stick.
That's how you resolve the issue.
You can challenge him to a fight is what you could do.
What if you can't fight? Then how do you fix it? Because that's what they'll do. They'll take advantage because you can't fight.
That's why every team used to have an enforcer.
Cross-check him in the back of the neck with your 4th-line grinder. So cross-check the back of the neck.
Just stop.
That'll get him to
stand.
Right.
The 4th-liners are not on the ice against first-line players. Right. It's not.
I'd swap him out there for a shift.
Please.
No problem.
JP says, I hate to tell you, Grumpy, but the refs did the same thing for the Patriots when they had Brady, not to this extent. Not to this extent.
Stats even proved that
not even close. Not even close. JP thinks the NFL has been manipulated from the beginning. I won't say from the beginning, but for a long time. Any league started by bookmakers has to be questioned. I don't think the NFL was started by bookmakers. Back in 1920.
Well, definitely is run by them now.
Well, absolutely. They're in bed with the gambling community. Gunga says, are the Panthers the real deal? No. Grumpy, remember when Ned Beatty was instructed to squeal? Yes, I do. Derek Monroe says, amazing how the Chiefs are the Super Bowl favorites when the receivers are fully healthy and not leading the league in drop passes. How ironic. Well, they do get a lot of help from the referees, though. I think getting Rice back was the big one.
Just lucky those people didn't die.
The Chiefs still cannot run the ball at all. They
just extremely blessed that those people that he hit with his car didn't die.
Yeah, well, okay. He's good though. Rasheed Rice is good.
Yep. Really happy those
they're playing really well right now.
Really happy those people didn't die.
But they're one injury away from being an also-ran. That's the way the NFL is. They really haven't had a whole lot of injuries over the course of their.
It's because you can't hit anybody.
Well, but over the course of their time and I consider them a dynasty. Over the course of their dynasty time, they really haven't had a whole lot of injuries. They have not.
Because they're protected.
Okay, it's not.
You don't see Joe Burrow getting that protection.
No, Joe Burrow does not get that protection.
He takes rough in the passer penalties that they don't throw calls on.
That's
all
true.
The time.
Some calls, some teams get them, some teams don't. Maybe they like Lamar. Maybe they like the Hunts. Maybe they don't like the Browns. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, Gungun says, would Mike McCarthy agree to save the Sad Sack Jets after the season? Should all men wear underpants that are sheer? I'm not touching the underpants thing.
You just completely skipped a comment, by the way.
Well, actually, you got to pop them up quicker.
I did. I popped this one up, and you just blew right by. Carolina Hurricanes, who are the Stanley Cup favorites, are the only undefeated NHL team remaining.
Okay. I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. I'd love to see them do well.
Talk about the Hurricanes, not the
Hurricanes. Sorry. The Hurricanes. That being said, I think they have the same problem they've had in recent years. I don't fully trust their goaltending. And I also don't think they have that marquee player to score goals for them in the playoffs. That's always been their problem.
And then this right here says Seth Jarvis is the first player in NHL history with 4 game-winning goals through his team's first 5 games of the season. Let's go ahead and watch this here.
Well, would have been a really good chance. Couldn't get it from his backhand to his forehand in time.
Now Miller flips it, and Jarvis will receive the pass. Drop for Aho, his shot. Jarvis, he scores! He does it in overtime again! And Carolina!
Just stop it. Couldn't see it anyway.
Okay. All right. He scored in overtime.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we can play this one.
Mike McCarthy coached the Jets. He's better than Aaron Glenn. I mean, the Jets are bad. They're bad. They need a quarterback desperately. Desperately need a quarterback. And they need a good coach. Mike Vrabel would have been an answer for them as a head coach, honestly. He was interviewing this year, but they tunneled up on Aaron Glenn. That's the guy they wanted. That was a mistake. You get what you get. Aaron Glenn's maybe the worst coach in the NFL, even worse than Mike McDaniels. He's bad. Drew says, hello, podcast. I'm currently in class, so I can't talk today. Just wanted to say GG's to Grumpy. GG's to Grumpy, unless I somehow...
Good game.
Good game to Grumpy, unless I somehow get a crap ton of points from Rashad White, JSN, and Darnold. Yeah. This year, fantasy football has been a disaster for me, honestly.
It's been bad.
Drew also says, Grumpy, you might want to reconsider Sun X's fantasy hockey team possibly being bad. I mean, I scored almost 160 points this week, largely thanks to MVP Jack Eichel. I don't know. Drew says, also the Giants DC needs to be left in Denver. He's the worst DC I've ever seen coach the Giants. James Farrell says, Schaefer Rookie of the Year, market. I think so.
Yeah.
Barring injury.
Yep.
Barring injury, he's just dynamic.
We'll talk about the Islanders' performance against Edmonton and Ottawa on Wednesday.
That's right. Aaron Glennon says, let's go Red Wings. I'm really having fun with this team. I'll go look at the fantasy football and hockey league scores. I think the Red Wings are 5-1. I mean, great start to the season. Yep. You're racking up points now, means you don't need them later. Gungun says, how dumb are the Jets fans still going to the games? It's dumb Woody sees empty seats. He may finally admit defeat. That's when the owners stop making money. But but here's the thing. Those season tickets are paid for. So even if people aren't in the stands,
they don't care. But, okay. Here's the thing. It's a really bad look when nobody shows up to your games. It's a really bad look because then guess what? Next year, those people who bought those season tickets are no longer going to buy them.
But there's somebody else wanting to buy them.
Some sucker will buy them. That's correct.
Yeah, absolutely. Football's number one sport in the country. It's not even close for second.
No, I know it is. I know it is.
It's like they crap money. That's why the product is as bad as it is. They don't have to be good. It's just throw guys out there on the field and let's see what happens. Aaron once again says, good job in fantasy hockey, Sun X, but I think I got you by 3 points. I think there was a day Sun X did not update his lineup and it cost him.
It happens to the best of us.
Also, is it me or does Michael Penix look like he's going to be at best an average quarterback with a straw on? He's a rookie. I mean, he played a little bit last year, but not a whole lot. So it's too early to say he sucks, but who knows?
I don't think he's going to be good.
James Farrell says, will there be a strike next in Major League Baseball? If ownership wants to steadfastly say they want a salary cap, it's going to be a long strike. That's the strongest sports unit there is, a sports union there is in all of organized sports is the Major League Baseball union. It's the strongest. JP says the Marys, the Rooneys, Bidwell, they were all bookies. Okay, I didn't know that. JP says Burt Bell was connected. I didn't know that either. Drew says Seth Jarvis is proof that all you need is a first-round draft pick in hockey, and even in the 20s to 30s range, you can land yourself a superstar. Yeah, it's the thing. It's so hard about hockey in particular, and even baseball, to be honest with you. When you're drafting kids when they're 18 years old, it's tough to see how they progress out. That's the hardest thing. You have to look for certain things, but it's really a crapshoot in football and even basketball. Well, basketball, you got to go to college 1 year, but hockey and baseball are just tough because the level of competition, you don't know what they are from, the level of competition standpoint. And it's just tough. Some kids pan out, some don't. JP says, my guy, Seth Jarvis, come into his own. He's good. Yep. We touched on that comment already.
Yep.
The Ozone says, can you think of another time frame in the history of the NFL where quarterback play has been this poor across the league?
Maybe when it first started, where all they did was run the ball.
Okay, I don't.
I mean, it's not good.
Okay, the game has totally changed, and quarterback play has totally changed. Everything now is about mobile quarterbacks who don't know fundamentals for the most part. I remember 5 years we thought, man, when Brady and Manning and Roethlisberger and Breeze, when they all retired, there's nobody to step up. Well, then guys started stepping up. You had Mahomes, Burrow,
Joe Burrow, you would say, has stepped up?
Well, he did. Joe Burrow's been good
for a year.
Field.
For a year?
No, more than a year. He's been good.
For a year, he stepped up.
Okay. The point is that some guys come, some guys go, right? But I think
they've had one quarterback over the last 5 years that's been worth anything. One.
Josh Allen's not worth anything?
I don't think Josh Allen's a winner. I don't think he's a winner.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I do not
so you don't think he's a good quarterback?
He's a good regular season quarterback, sure. So is Dak Prescott.
Okay.
What have they ever won?
He's put up really good numbers.
What have they ever won?
What has he
ever won? What has he ever won?
Well, here's the thing. If your coach is too dumb,
what has he ever won?
He doesn't play defense.
What has he ever won?
Okay, go to that.
I'm gonna ask the question again. What has he ever won?
Dude,
he hasn't won anything.
He's won division.
He's a historic loser.
He's won division titles.
What division title has he won?
He's won the AFC 5 to 6 years in a row.
Sorry, not division title. What conference title has he won?
He's never
ever
won
been a conference championship?
He's never won a conference.
Okay, so he hasn't really won anything. It doesn't take much to win a division. It really doesn't.
So you don't think Josh Allen's a good quarterback? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think he's a winner. I don't think he's a winner. When it comes down to nut cutting time, who would you rather have, Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes?
With which team? If I put Josh Allen on the Chiefs, I never lose a game. I'd never lose a game.
Well, no, because if it was roles were reversed and Mahomes played, then Buffalo would get every call, so he wouldn't win.
Buffalo doesn't have the talent that Kansas City does. They never have.
He's never won anything.
Buffalo does not have a wide receiver.
Anything.
Buffalo doesn't have any wide receivers to throw to. They don't. It's Josh Allen left, Josh Allen right.
Well, that's on Josh Allen. Why did he decide to stay there?
Has to make everybody better.
Well, why did he decide to stay there?
As we've seen this year, Patrick Mahomes does not make other players better.
So then how can you say that? How can you say that Josh Allen's a good quarterback then? If he's so good,
Josh Allen's a really good quarterback.
My thing is, if he's so good, why does he make the players around him better? Hello?
Okay. First off, I've been listening. You're driving me crazy on this point, X. Just because you haven't won a lot doesn't mean you haven't come into your own.
He hasn't won anything. There's a difference. It's not that he hasn't won a lot. He hasn't won anything.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't.
He's been league MVP.
I don't. So is Lamar Jackson. Are you going to say Lamar Jackson's a great quarterback? Or you say he's a world-beating quarterback? He's won 2 MVPs.
So the only quarterback, I think Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the league.
That's sure. Jalen Hurts has won more. Jalen Hurts has won more than Josh Allen has.
Josh Allen is still playing throughout his career. He's not even 30 years old yet.
Here's the thing. He's not going to win anything with the Bills. He'll never win anything.
Quiet.
Listen, X. When you're talking about the scale of talent, you have your Phillip Rivers. Those are guys who are first ballot Hall of Famers. You've got there's a whole spectrum of it. And I think Josh Allen definitely falls on the spectrum of a really damn good quarterback, but we're not loaded in the NFL like we have been in the past. We've become spoiled. I mean, think about how many teams you could name about at one time period or not. You had about 10 Hall of Fame quarterbacks all at once playing in the NFL. You just don't have that level anymore. All right.
You have one quarterback currently. One. You have one quarterback currently that's worth anything.
Okay, go to the next. You're just ridiculous. Next comment.
Name another one that's won stuff.
James Farrell says, "Grumpy John Gruden."
About being a coach.
No.
For NCAA team.
He's not coaching.
Football team.
He's not coaching anymore. Drew says NFL in general, outside of a couple of games per week, had mostly been incredibly boring to watch. I actually fell asleep halfway through the 4:00 games and didn't miss much. The only reason to
tune in the last 5 minutes.
The only reason that I watch the NFL now is for fantasy purposes. And James asks again, Grumpy John Gruden, ex-Penn State head coach. No. I think he's done. Aaron Glenn says, I'm sad the Giants don't play until tomorrow night.
Lions don't play until tomorrow night. That is correct. They play against Tampa. I'm sorry, I got to pull for Tampa. Got to pull for Baker.
James Fowler says, my Raiders just suck so bad I didn't even watch the game. You missed it.
Raiders are not good.
They got blown out. Aaron once again says Burrow has not played a full season since his first year. Is that true?
I think he's been out. He's been out for games sporadically through the seasons that he played through. Yeah.
Their offense is horrible. And JP says, TJ, yes, TJ, he called in as a guest caller. Yeah.
We have to end the show off with a little fan fight here at the Miami football game, University of Miami football game.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. Oh, his Mr. Orange shirt. He's feeling it. Oh.
I'm going to say one thing. I feel bad for this guy in the white shirt.
All right. He just got punched. What's this guy coming up and hitting him for? Somebody would take a baseball bat to the back of this clown's head. That's what
he's getting jumped by 3 guys. Look at this. Okay. By the way, the kid they jumped, I saw in the
comments. Would it be a problem if you shot any one of these guys? I wouldn't even have a problem with it.
By the way, the kid that they jumped was a minor also. That's what I saw in the comments. He was 17 years old.
What is this? What's with this asshole? All right, I've seen enough. Turn it off. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't enjoy that. It's 1-on-1, that's one thing. 3-on-1, it's like, no. We're the cops. You got the
that's exactly what somebody said. So somebody said it's impossible to even take your kids to a football game anymore. And they're like, where are the police? Where's the police presence at this game? Literally, I mean, how long is that fight going on for? Over a minute. I mean, it happened before that. They were already fighting. That fight was probably going on for probably 3 or 4 minutes, and nobody stepped in, did anything.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And then Drew also commented here, to be at the end of the comments for the night, says, by the way, speaking of Miami, did you all see the words Lane Kiffin said about Carson Beck? No, I did not. I can try and look that up real quick.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, Carson Beck. All right. Carson Beck's nothing special about Carson Beck. I don't know. I didn't think he was that great in Georgia. I don't think he's that great in Miami. Let's be honest. Miami's another paper tiger in a weak ACC. ACC is a horrible conference. One team, probably Miami, will make it to the bowl championship series. They're just not that good. I think the best team in the country is Indiana.
There's 3 people just put it to a kid. I don't like it. Represent your team.
Why are you fighting?
Yeah, it makes no sense. And the thing is, they're all fans of Miami.
What was that kid doing? What was that kid doing?
No idea. No idea. They all just jumped him. It was weird. But here's the Lane Kiffin thing.
It's crazy, Coach, that you bring up the NFL structure with college now because they're in the contract. They're making money. They're making millions of dollars. I think down in Miami, what's Carson Beck?
4.3.
4.3 million. I think my biggest year was 6. He's a college kid. So, you bring up the comparison of what they're doing. They're really getting NFL money.
Miami gave him $4.3 million? That's what the evaluation says. Hey, did they watch this game against us? You don't have to be great, Coach. Hey, Lane, you don't try not to go.
Yeah.
That's why are you paying college kids? And now I don't know, and we didn't talk about it today. We can talk about it next week. They're thinking about letting college players bet on games.
Yes.
We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, that's
put a pin in that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Again, when you let players get involved in gambling, the chance of them throwing games exponentially jumps. Just jumps.
Yep. Agreed. Anything you want to say before we log off, Grumpy?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from Son X and the Grumpy Old Man.
Yep. I want to thank everybody for coming out and listening as always. Love the interaction in the comments, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks, Grumpy.
My pleasure.